Hello, Gems. Leah from Red Emerald Yoga. Welcome to today's reading. Today we're going to be doing a reading for Thanksgiving. For those of you who don't celebrate Thanksgiving, don't worry about it. I don't celebrate Thanksgiving in the traditional sense either. But we will be doing a reading looking at what we have to be thankful for. In this reading, we will be looking at the gifts or talents you have to offer the world, ways you can support your talents, the people who are surrounding you right now, ways others encourage and support you, the opportunities available to you at this moment, your hopes and concerns, your higher purpose in this world, and guidance for the future. I've also pulled a couple of oracle cards for you, so you can either choose by the deck or the stone. This is the stone for pile 1. I don't know what this is. This is a mystery stone. I got it as a free gift with purchase from magic.com. This deck is Tarot of the Witch's Garden. So that will be pile 1. Pile 2, I think this is called an Aura Quartz. This came with one of the decks that I purchased, and this is Pot Tarot. Pile 3, I think this is a Chevron Amethyst is what that's called. And this deck is the Wandering Star Tarot. I'm over here looking at my little, and all the little boxes like, wait, what is this one called? Okay. And then for pile 4, I believe this is a blue agate. Here we have Spiritsong Tarot. So go ahead and choose the pile that resonates with you, either by the deck or the stone, and I will see you in your reading. Pile 1, pile 2, pile 3, or pile 4. Pile 1, you can just stay put and we will get right into your reading. The rest of you jump down to the timestamps below and I'll see you in your reading. Bye. Hello, pile 1. If you have selected Tarot of the Witch's Garden or this mystery stone, this reading is for you. Okay, let's begin. Card number 1. What gifts and talents do I offer the world? Here we have the King of Swords. Okay, pile 1, I like where this is going. To me, this is a card that represents clear thought. You might have the gift of the gab. I feel like you're a really good communicator. You probably have really good ideas. I see you as a problem solver. I love the owl, the white owl over here on his right shoulder, over the right shoulder. To me, it's like a symbol, a nod to his wisdom. I'm also really drawn to this book. To me, it reminds me of journaling. I feel like this is something that either you have a gift to offer the world, like as far as like journaling prompts or things that you have gone through, things that you have worked out through your journaling process, maybe something that you can help somebody else with. Card 2. Ways I can support my talents. Here we have the Knight of Pentacles in the reverse. I feel like the way that you can support your talents is by not dragging your feet, by taking action, by moving forward, and not being afraid. I feel like you are so strong, you are so powerful, whether you realize it or not. The buffalo is a mighty warrior spirit. And I feel like that's what you need to harness. That's what you need to tap into. I love how she just has her hand resting on it. And where she places her hand, there's flowers growing. Like when she embraces that spirit of the buffalo, it's going to bring her gifts and talents to life. Card 3. People surrounding me right now. The High Priestess. I love it. Okay, I feel like you have some people around you, maybe a specific person, or it may be a group of people who are really tapped into their intuitive side. These could be people who are tapped into their psychic gifts, or people who are just very in touch. They pay attention to signs, they listen to their own inner voice. Very comfortable. Their other gifts, their psychic gifts and abilities, their clairsenses. Card 4. Ways others encourage and support me. Here we have the Two of Pentacles in the reverse. I love how she's juggling. She's juggling these 2 pentacles and her feet are barefoot. She's literally grounding. I feel like when you feel like your head gets a little too up in the clouds and you don't know which one, like you're kind of losing track of your time management, or you're kind of letting like your real life things cloud your judgment, kind of get distracted. The people around you are supporting you and they're encouraging you, like, hey, pile one person, don't forget, this is who you are. This is where your attention needs to be. Don't be focusing on that thing right now. Like, remember you said you were going to focus on this thing. This is where your attention needs to be. I feel like there's people around you and they're very down to earth and they keep you grounded. They keep you centered. They're keeping your eye on the prize. Card 5. The opportunities available to me at the moment. Here we have Page of Wands in the reverse. I feel like you may be presented with opportunities to work on your triggers. Again, I feel like journaling is coming into play over here. When you feel triggered, when these opportunities present themselves to you, you have a choice. You can choose, do I respond to this situation, this person, this event in the way that I always have, or do I try something new? Do I lash out? Do I have a momentary freak out? Do I run? This really reminds me of a child who is not going about a situation in the best way possible. Doesn't mean it's a bad way. It's just the way that the child has learned that this is what I do. It's like when your parents are fighting when you're younger, and maybe you used to run and hide underneath your bed because that kept you safe, or you would run and hide in a closet. But as an adult, when things don't go smoothly and things start to get a little bit chaotic, do you find yourself still in that same pattern? Are you wanting to run? Are you wanting to hide? Are you wanting to shut down? Are you wanting to leave? That's what I'm talking about. Like things that may have worked for you as a child. Sometimes when we become adults, those are not the best choices to make. Like maybe they worked for a time, but now it's like, okay, now as an adult, I can handle this trigger in a less emotional manner. I can go about it in a different way. I can learn a new way to respond to this situation. Card 6, my hopes and concerns. Here we have the King of Wands. The King of Wands reminds me of a very fiery, passionate, romantic guy, but it's more like not really based on romance. It's more based on like the heat of the moment. So I really tend to get lover vibes from this King of Wands. So here with this card, 3, 4, 5, 6. Okay, my hopes and concerns. I feel like this may be for some of you rekindling that spark. For others, that may be your concern. Maybe your concern is your romantic relationship with somebody. Because this is a collective reading, I feel like your hope may also be some sort of like creative outlet. Really like coming into your power, owning your creativity without being afraid of being judged. Really being able to present yourself with pride and confidence. But I feel like for a lot of you, that's going to be, I'm really getting relationship vibes. like a lover, a partner. My higher purpose in this world. Here we have the Seven of Pentacles in the reverse. I feel like you have a gift. There is a skill that you possess that you're actually quite good at. But for some reason, you are not sharing that with the world, and that may be what I felt was coming up here with this card. The ability to present yourself to the world with pride and confidence without fearing being judged or, how are people going to look at me? You're just able to just like put that out there. I see her here with her tarot cards for some of you. And then here with the High Priestess, like you're surrounded by intuitive people. This very well may be that you have a tarot gift or some sort of spiritual gift, like where you're really tapping in, some way that you're tapping in with your intuition. And maybe you've done it with small groups of people, but maybe you're just not ready to really share that with the world. But I feel like this card is an invitation. This card is saying, you know what? That is your higher purpose for this world. And when you put yourself in that position to where you're willing to share this gift with the world, I feel like that's when you're going to really start to see all of these fruits of your labor. You're going to be able to see that growing. I feel like that's also relating to your skill. Like your skill is also going to multiply. It's going to increase. It's going to grow. Card number 8. Guidance for the future. Here we have the Two of Swords. Oh my goodness. To me, this card reminds me of somebody who is in a meditative state. I love how her back is to the wall, like nobody's going to be sneaking up behind her. And she's sitting here in like this little alcove. It's really safe, and it's almost like a sacred place. We've got this, I don't even know what it's called, this little arch thing, and how she's got the swords crossed in front of her chest. Normally, I don't get that vibe with the Two of Swords. Usually, it reminds me of not wanting to look at the elephant in the room kind of vibes. But with this card, I kind of feel like it reminds me of a warrior or being in a deep meditative state, and you close your eyes and you start to breathe and you're focusing, and then you can kind of see, like you get like a glimpse of deja vu, like where you see things play out in front of you. You know how it's going to go. It reminds me of that movie, The Last Samurai, with Tom Cruise. And he's training with the samurais, and he finally gets it for the first time. And I think he's in training still. And he closes his eyes and he sees the whole. It's a practice battle, but he sees the whole battle playing out before him. And then when he opens his eyes, it hasn't happened yet. And then it takes place, and it's a draw. It's like a stalemate. Him and his trainer, his teacher, and it's a really cool scene. And that's what this reminds me of. Like that's the place that she's tapping into, and she's really honing in, and she's watching something play out in front of her. And when she opens her eyes, she has the choice to take action. So I feel like that's your guidance for the future. I feel like this is to really tap in, to meditate, to think before acting, not to make a rash decision. And I feel like that is literally coming full circle with this card here, because I do feel like you have that wisdom. You have that ability to tap in. I feel like journaling is going to be a key component. And I love the clouds, how it's just like very ethereal, but like up here where his head is, it's clear. He's clear-minded. And it's like just all of these clouds coming in. And I love when it's really cloudy. I find that my intuition really kicks in on overdrive on cloudy days, because I believe that the water intensifies the intuition. And when there's clouds, when there's fog, it's like, there's water all around you, and it's magnified. I really love him being depicted here with all of the clouds, and then just like how it's clear right at his head. I think that's beautiful. Like he's just like drawing it up through his feet. Let's see what your oracle cards have to say. This one says, I am a radiant being, enjoying life to the fullest. And here we have partridge, which says knowledge. I'm going to go to the book and read what it has to say about partridge. It says, the call of partridge is clear. You are now ready to acquire new knowledge and teachings. This message brings with it the notice that the time is ripe to learn, learn, learn. Partridge shares the energy of transformation through focus and intention. If there is a new topic, practice, or path you have been considering, you are being invited to move toward it now. It might require you to go out on a limb and trust your own ability to grow and evolve. Once you do, be prepared to step up to the next level and see where it leads you. Use this fertile time to grow in wisdom and strength. There is no end to the potential and gifts being offered to you at this time. I love it. It suggests a practice which says creating a vision board of images and words that are calling your interest and attention is a powerful practice. It says creating a vision board of images and words that are calling your interest and attention is a powerful practice. Begin with a large blank piece of paper or board. Choose images that inspire, excite, and intrigue you, even if you don't know much about them. Find words and colors that support the feeling of opening, inquiry, and focus. Choose at least one item that feels right to hold the center spot. Once you have represented a variety of images, interests, and desires, you can display the vision board on an altar or wall. Take time to reflect upon it daily and see where it takes you. Let your dreams and visions become your reality. Okay, pile one, that was a beautiful reading. I hope it resonated with you. I hope you enjoyed it. Please comment, like, and subscribe if you enjoyed your reading. And thank you for hanging out with me today. I'll see you soon. Bye, pile one. Hello, pile two. If you have selected this stone or pot tarot, this reading is for you. Okay, let me grab my little spread here. Card number one. What gifts and talents do I have to offer the world? Here we have justice. I feel like you're a very fair and balanced person, that you do not judge people too quickly. You don't make quick decisions about people. I feel like your dealings with people are very fair and thought out. You treat people the way that they deserve to be treated. Card two, ways I can support my talents. Here we have the Ace of Joints. Okay, so this is going to be like similar to the Ace of Wands. I feel like you have dreams, that you have these passions, these inspirations, and I feel like the best way that you can support your talents is to actually take action on them. I feel like you're really good at certain things. You may even be told things quite often like, oh, you have natural talent, or oh, you're gifted, or you're just blessed with this ability. And this card is saying not to waste that. That the best way to support your talent is not just to rely on that, but to actually like take it and run with it. See how far it can take you. Don't just rely on natural talent or your natural ability. Those things can always be honed. Those tools can be sharpened. You know what I mean? Like you can always take it and develop it further. Card three. This card represents the people surrounding you right now. Here we have Temperance. I feel like these people are bringing a sense of balance to your life. I feel like when there are times, because you know you're human, you're not perfect, you're not actually a scale, so like when you do find yourself tipping one way or the other, these people bring you back in balance. They bring you back to center. Card 4, ways others encourage and support me. Here we have the 5 of Buds. When you feel empty or when you feel like you have failed in some way, you've let yourself down, you've let others down around you, like, you know what? It's okay. We're going to be here. We're going to lift you up. We're going to water, we're going to water you. We're going to replant. They're there with you through the thick and the thin. I feel like it's probably these people here, they're saying like, you don't have to do this alone. They're really there to pick you up when you're down. Card 5. These are opportunities that are available to you at the moment. Here we have the 9 of Buds in the reverse. I feel like you have the opportunity to be grateful, to offer gratitude. This may be time for a gratitude meditation. This may be time for you to do something nice for the people who are surrounding you. It doesn't necessarily have to be a financial gift, but it could be a gift of time. It could be a gift of listening. It could be a gift of exchanging a favor, but really like making sure that you're thanking the people who are there for you, thanking the people who are there to lift you up in your time of need. Thanking people for, bringing you back to your center and your balance. Card 6. This card represents your hopes and concerns. Here we have the King of Bongs in the reverse. I feel like this card really might be representing both your hope and your concern. I feel like there might be a person in your life. This very well could be a father figure, but I feel like this person may be a little bit selfish, a little bit emotionally unstable, perhaps a bit needy or like scared in some way. And when that person gets scared or intimidated, they may like lash out at you, not really being too concerned with your feelings. And I feel like your hope is like that you're not that way, or that that person, doesn't turn their attention towards you. Like you're hoping to reconcile that relationship with that person, because I feel like there's just so much balance showing up in your reading. Card 7. This is your higher purpose in this world. Here we have the Queen of Buds. I love it. I feel like that balance is coming in here. Just like the yin and the yang to me. I feel like you're a nurturer. You like to take care of people. I feel like despite your circumstances, despite what you've been through, you love to show people the way that you care about them by nurturing them in some way, by taking care of them. I feel like you're a very compassionate person. And your higher purpose is to spread love, to bring people together. I love how the heart is made up of 2 buds. And it's like when these 2 people bring their buds together, it creates the heart. And I feel like it's really working together with people. It's not just like you're doing all the fixing. I feel it's like bringing people together, fixing, uniting people through love. This next card is guidance for the new future. Here we have the King of Pipes in the reverse. So the King of Pipes, that would be like, kind of like the King of Swords. I feel like this card would just be like a reminder. When you're in situations like this with the King of Bongs, When these people are not operating in their highest capacity, not to allow yourself to become so detached, not to allow the other people to really shut you down and to make you jaded and cold. Don't lose this Queen of Buds. Don't lose that aspect about yourself. I feel like this card is saying, it doesn't matter. It doesn't matter what other people think. It doesn't matter what other people say. I feel like it's saying, like, you have every right to wear this crown. You have every right to rock the shit out of this crown. Like it's saying, just keep your level head. Keep surrounding yourself with people who will keep you centered. Choose not to surround yourself with people who will bring you down or who just want to be here in this King of Bongs mindset. The King of Bongs mindset, that would be like people who, never offer to clean or replace your bong water. They'll smoke your whole bowl. They won't corner it. They're not gonna really care about other people's feelings, or they just can't be bothered with that. I feel like this card is saying, like, you're the king. You don't need to put up with that. You don't need to waste your love on people like that. I don't know who this King of Bongs person is, but you can love them, but you don't need to let them deplete you. Let's see what your oracle card has to say. I move through life knowing that I am safe, divinely protected, and guided. And here we have Moon, receptivity. I'm going to go to the book and see what this has to say. The message of Moon is, invite the moon to become your ally. The magical qualities of the moon and moonlight have an energy all of their own. This is a call to connect more with your inner world, intentions, and intuition. Reflect now on the intuitive gifts and sensing that have been developing or expanding for you. Are you able to perceive more information through your intuition than in times past? Have you been experiencing an intuitive awakening? The moon cycles are an excellent system to work with for manifesting and intention as well. Use the cycle of the moon to take ideas from seed to harvest. Don't forget that intention is an active practice that can be enhanced by the subtle energy of intuition. Use both together to bring your dreams into reality. It has a practice which says, align your manifesting intentions with the cycles of the moon. In the void of the moon, you may create space for a clearing meditation of the mind. On the new moon days, write down your new intentions and place them either on an altar, in a nature place, under a stone, or somewhere safe and protected. On the full moon day, place a large pitcher of water in moonlight to absorb the energy, and then drink the moon water while recalling your intention. In a gesture of offering, send the intention out to the universe. You might burn or bury the intention in the earth. Use the balance of the month to invite the moon to assist you in the creation of your desire. Oh my gosh, pile 2, I love that. How it says, use the balance of the month to invite the moon to assist you in the creation of your desire. And I feel like your reading is so heavily focused on balance. And I feel like that's just like the one thing that will tip the scale even more in your favor, is to begin, if you don't already, doing some sort of moon practice of a living more in alignment with the cycles of the moon. That's going to really help you take that spark from the Ace of Joints and just really allow it to to take it from just a tiny little spark and turn it into a glowing ember that just radiates heat and warmth, and it just lasts and endures. So pile 2, this concludes your reading. I hope you enjoyed it. Please comment, like, and subscribe if you did. And thank you for hanging out with me. I'll see you soon. Bye. Hello, pile 3. If you have selected this stone or the Wandering Star Tarot, this reading is for you. Okay, let's begin. Card 1. The gifts and talents I offer the world. Here we have the 10 of Wands in the reverse. And this card says burden, demands, and overload. To me, it literally looks like this person is being burned at the stake. And I feel like that's the gift that you have in the reverse. When people are feeling burdened, like they can't meet their demands, like they're just overloaded and they literally have no one to save them. That's when you enter the picture. And it's like you're the answer to their prayers. You're the answer to everything they have hoped and wished for. You literally come in and show them that there is a possible way out of this hopeless situation. Card 2. Ways I can support my talents. Here we have the Ace of Swords in the reverse. This card says success, change, decisions, and actions. A way that you can support your talent is, I think that this might be thinking about things in a new way. I feel like you're really good at what you do, but perhaps you have found yourself kind of in a rut or not finding yourself feeling fresh, or maybe you haven't had a new idea or new inspiration in a while. And I feel like this card is saying you might need to look and think outside of the box. Maybe you could look somewhere completely unexpected. Maybe look at somebody for inspiration that you normally wouldn't turn to. Can you think outside of your little bubble that you find yourself in? Card 3. This card represents the people surrounding you right now. Here we have the 8 of Cups. This card says change, shift, change. I love how normally this card is a card of like the little dude and he's going off in the mountain in search of what's missing. But I don't get that vibe with this one. I think this is an octopus, and octopi are very smart and intelligent. They do these studies and they put them in like in fish tanks. They put them in these in containers with lids, and they'll use their suction cups and they'll unscrew the lid and they'll free themselves and they'll climb out and jump off the boat back into the water. They'll figure out how to get out of the fish tank that they're in. They'll take the cover off, they'll climb over the side, and they'll climb right off the boat and escape. I feel like it reminds me of, like, I don't even remember who said it, but I remember I was a little girl and I remember there were women cooking in the kitchen and someone said, like, I could help you if I had extra arms. And I feel like that's what this octopus is doing. Like, it has all the cups and it's like, I don't know, like maybe it's serving or cooking or something. It doesn't necessarily have to be that. That's just the story I'm using. But it's like, it's helping. It's got all these extra hands and it can help. These are the people around you right now. They're extra hands. They're smart. They're problem solvers. Maybe you have somebody around you who can get, like, you never would have expected this person to have this like brilliant idea, but they've got this big brain, and maybe it's an untapped resource. But I do feel like you are surrounded by smart problem solvers, people who are willing to lend an extra hand. Card 4. Ways others encourage and support me. Here we have the Three of Swords in the reverse. I love it. And this card says heartbreak, sorrow, and grief. Normally you're probably thinking like, why the heck do you love this card coming up in this position? Because these people around you are pulling these swords out. They're helping your wound to heal. They're filling these holes that are left in your heart. Oops, it's reverse. Yeah. They're really helping you to heal from old wounds. I feel like when this card is coming up in the reverse, it's like already in the process of these swords being removed. Card 5. This card represents the opportunities that are available to you in the moment. Here we have the Emperor. I love it. It says law and order. I feel like your opportunity is an opportunity to really expand and grow with stability. The Emperor is not somebody who just like, well, not in the upright anyways, who just like expands in a way that's not sustainable and like really can't take care of it or make it work. The Emperor in the upright, like he's got his little white owl here on his right shoulder, and he's taking action based on rational thought, on wisdom. Like he's really thinking about it. He's not just going willy-nilly and, just making stupid decisions. And I feel like that might have something to do with your friends, the people who are helping you. Card 6, my hopes and concerns. Here we have the Magician in the reverse. Okay, power, action, and skill. I feel like in the reverse, you don't want to be tricked. That would be your concern. Somebody pulling the wool over your eyes, somebody conning you, somebody with ill intentions for you, getting the best of you. Your hope. I feel like this card is saying that you hope. Oops, you're not supposed to be able to see that yet. You hope that you are able to use all of your skills, the tools of your trade, to be able to effectively create the life you want to live and to be able to ward off any unexpected thing that comes your way. Card 7. This is your higher purpose in this world. Here we have the Star in the reverse. This card says guiding light, inspiration, faith, hope, miracles, and infinite energy. Your higher purpose in the world. I feel like you're supposed to help inspire those things in others. I feel like you are supposed to be a source of healing, but you can't heal anyone else until you've healed your own wounds. So I feel like this is a potential that you have to offer others. And I love how this card follows the Magician. I feel like once you set your mind to it, you truly can accomplish things that many would think impossible. Guidance for the future. Here we have the Wheel of Fortune in the reverse. I get a very different vibe with this deck for the Wheel of Fortune. To me, this reminds me of Kundalini, and it reminds me of a chakra. Just this spinning energy wheel, this vortex of energy. This card says karma, destiny. And I love how the 4 elements are depicted here. Because this card is in the reverse, I feel like your guidance is to really work on aligning and balancing your energies your relationship with money and the material world, your health, your possessions, the way that you speak to others, and the way that you allow others to speak with you. Your emotions, your thoughts, your feelings, and also your actions, your spirituality. I feel like when you write this card, okay, when you balance your energies, balance your chakras, I feel like you're really going to be able to write this card, the Star and the Magician. I feel like once you do that, then you will know how to properly wield these tools that are on the, well, I was going to say on the table, but in this deck, the table is gone. So, but you're going to really be able to use the tools of the Magician. And then you will be able to counter anything. You will be able to inspire hope, create miracles, inspire people, and just really be that guiding light. Yeah. I love how it, like after the Wheel of Fortune, like if you were looking at this like a circle, it would bring you right back here to the 10 of Wands. And then you just continue doing what you do, being awesome and amazing, inspiring people, helping them, giving them that aha moment, like, look, this is what you're doing. Have you ever tried it like this? But it's just going to be a completely leveled up experience. This card says, it is safe for me to speak up for myself. I kind of feel like you're already in that place, but I feel like there's times when these swords really start to kind of rub you raw, and it's like, oh, like you don't want to speak about those things. Those things you might try to cover up. You don't want other people to see that. Here we have tree. It says grounding. I'm going to go to the book and see what this has to say. Okay, so this card has a message that says, the steadiness of tree is calling you to reflect on your interactions with the earth, air, and sun, as well as all of the relationships around you. The tree is a living system that provides support in many ways. You are being asked to take a look at yourself through the eyes of a tree. Where have your roots spread? Where do they get their nourishment? If you have been taking care of others and not yourself, you may be limiting your ability to thrive. Looking at yourself through this symbol may provide insight you have been seeking. If you are unyielding like the mighty oak, or unwilling to bend like a willow, you may realize that some adjustments in your approach are needed. Like the tree, we have the ability to be grounded and open-hearted at the same time. When we are connected in this way, it is with ease that we find the light. It has a practice, and it says this practice can be done outside. Find a tree to connect to by leaning back against the trunk with both feet on the ground. Bring your hands up to Anjali Mudra or prayer hands and close your eyes. Lean into the support of the tree and envision your roots running down into the earth from the soles of your foot. Drink in the energy of the earth from your feet and feel yourself rising taller as you do. Bring awareness all the way up the body and feel yourself rising and growing towards the light. Notice any thoughts or images that come into your mind. And it stops there, but I would encourage you to take a journal outside with you while you're doing this practice and set a timer that you cannot look at, an audible timer. Set it for 2 minutes or maybe 5 as you're doing that grounding practice. And then when your timer goes off, come to a comfortable seated position. You might have a blanket nearby or a towel, perhaps a yoga mat. And do some journaling on whatever comes up, whatever you experienced, whatever you're currently experiencing, thinking about, whatever you see, hear, smell. And just start to write it down. Also with the timer, I suggest 5 to 10 minutes in the beginning. As you become more familiar with journaling, you may choose to set a longer time period for your journaling practice, or maybe not even need a timer at all. But in the beginning, I do suggest a timer. So, pile 3, this does conclude your reading. I hope you enjoyed it. If you did, please comment, like, and subscribe. And thank you for hanging out with me. I'll see you soon. Bye. Hello, pile 4. If you have selected this stone or Spiritsong Tarot, this reading is for you. Okay, let's begin. Let me grab my little spread here. Okay, card 1. The gifts and talents I offer the world. Here we have the 3 of feathers in the reverse. Here we have release and recovery. I feel like with this card, you take the things that have made you feel small, feel frightened, feel shy about. You take those things that you've overcome and you use those to help others spread their wings and fly. You use those things to inspire others. I feel like you use your light. I'm really drawn to the sun right here and how this moth is chasing it. I feel like you use your light despite what you've went through, despite the hurts and the pains and the losses that you've been through, you still are able to shine your light out and you give hope and inspiration to people who have lost their own light. They come to you like moths to a flame. Card 2, ways I can support my talents. Here we have the 8 of feathers in the reverse. This card says courage and solutions. I feel like no matter what obstacle you're facing, again, going back to that whole fear thing, when you're feeling frightened, and instead of shutting down and going within, you know what I mean? You're able to rise above. Oops. You're able to climb up and get a higher viewpoint. Here we have this little mouse and it's up here climbing up into the reaches of the tree. And instead of staying here, being trapped and stuck, you just continue to keep climbing and climbing through this better vantage point until you find a way out of your situation. Also, when this card shows up in the reverse, it's not being afraid of other people. You know, like if you really can't find a way out of your situation, it's having the courage to ask for help, of knowing when to ask for help and refusing to stay a victim, refusing to stay trapped. Card 3, people surrounding me right now. Here we have the Knight of Shells in the reverse. This card says charm and passion. But with this card being in the reverse, I feel like it's kind of like a mask. These people may be putting on this charming mask, this charming facade. The Knight of Shells is kind of like the Knight of Cups, and the Knight of Cups is a romantic. He's very heartfelt and loving, and he's kind of like your Prince Charming type vibe going on. But with this card, I feel like the flamingo is like a little bit flashy, you know, but he's only standing on one leg. I feel like he may be putting on this appearance of like these beautiful feathers, and it kind of gives me This card always reminds me of the flamingo, like the Vegas showgirls, flamingos, flamingo, with all the feathers, you know, but like inside, when this card is in the reverse, I feel like it's insecurity. Like there's a little bit of fear. So the people like around you, they're putting their best face forward. Despite their insecurities, despite their fears, they're still putting themselves out there. Like this kind of triggers me a little bit. This kind of makes me uncomfortable, but I'm still going to put myself out there. I refuse to stay small. I feel like this card being in the reverse, the people around you are not really, they're not really standing on both legs. This flamingo kind of looks like it's kind of in a tree pose. But with the card being in the reverse, I feel like they really haven't found their center. They're not really emotionally stable and secure. I feel like they may put on this charming facade, but inside, underneath all of that, there's a lot of fear. Now, that's not to say that this person is a bad person or these people are fake or things of that nature. I'm really drawn to that heart right here. And I feel like they may have their own wounds and their own emotional things that they're going through. And they're doing the best that they can in that moment. I feel like these people are still trying to navigate the waters of their emotions. Card 4. This is ways that others encourage and support you. Here we have the King of Crystals. I love this card with the tiger. It says courage and commitment. This very well could be these people still like encouraging you to be strong, to have courage, and to honor your commitments with others, because it's like if they're showing up, you know what I mean? Like I can show up. If they're doing it, I can do it. And I feel like these people are telling you, like, you know what, pile 4 person, you're so amazing. Look at what you've done. Look at what you've accomplished. I see the tiger as like the king of the jungle. He's very prosperous. He's very comfortable and content. And I feel like that's what you guys are kind of working towards, like you and your group of people, maybe even these people here. You guys are setting goals together. Maybe you guys are all working on your healing together. But for some reason, you know, you are that light. You are the spark, the guiding light. Like, oh, you're kind of keeping everybody in line, you know? For some of you, I feel like this card may be saying that others support you in that way. They might have given you this strong foundation. They might have shown you some sense of stability, whether that be through financial stability, or I feel like it's a very tangible stability. They might have shown you how to have like a schedule or a structure or time management, something of that nature. They might have helped you become a little bit more healthy, a little more conscious of your health, your diet, your exercise, things of that nature. I feel like it's something to do like with the real world. But I do feel like you guys are growing together and you guys are all kind of on this like trajectory path together. Okay, card 5, the opportunities of the moment. Here we have the Page of Crystals in the reverse. I feel like your opportunity with this card being in the reverse is like, you know, when you get a camera, like with one of those zoom lenses where you have to manually adjust it, you know, and so it's not on autofocus, and you've got to like zoom it in or out right here. And then with the other one, the fine tuner, you manually adjust the focus. And I feel like that's what this card is asking you to do. You may need to adjust your zoom. Like, what are you zoomed in on? Do you need to zoom in a little bit more? Do you need to zoom out? And then really tweak your focus. It's not a big adjustment. It's probably a minor adjustment, but I feel like you need to shift your focus just a little bit. Card 6. What is your hope or your concern? Here we have the 10 of Shells, blessings and well-being. I love how he's collected all of his little shells and he's so proud. It reminds me of my wiener dog. And he runs around the house and I call him Templeton. He that's not his name, but he runs around the house and he finds all his little things, all these little toys, and then just like random stupid things that fit in his mouth and he can lift easily. He'll go and he'll grab them and he'll hide them and he'll put them in these little piles all over the house. And I feel like that's what he's doing. He's like, yes, look at me. I have all of my stuff, my little pile here. The 10 of shells. Look at all of my shells that I've collected. I feel like you want people to come around you and look at your little pile of shells, you know? Look at what you've accomplished and not so much toot your horn or celebrate, but I feel like sharing it with you. Like this would be people coming together, like sharing your blessings with others in a non-boastful way. Card 7. Here we have my higher purpose in this world. 2 of crystals in the reverse. Here we have balance and adaptability. I'm really drawn to how strong kangaroos are. And just how like they always seem so sure-footed. They use their tail kind of for like extra balance and they're really strong. You can't push a kangaroo around. They don't take any shit. They're very strong. I feel like your purpose and your goal in this world, it might be to stand up for people who can't stand up for themselves, but it might also be to help people find their footing, to help people believe in themselves so they can be able to take that leap of faith. I really see this like this kangaroo like leaping for their dreams. It's a very different vibe than I get from the Rider-Waite. I just see him like leaping from this hill, this little like hill over to this one. And he does it without hesitation because he's just so confident. He knows he's got these strong legs and he's just going to effortlessly land on his feet. And he's going to go over here. He's going to collect these little crystals and put them in his pouch. And I feel like that's what you're going to help other people do. You're going to help people believe in themselves. You're going to help people take that leap of faith, not take any shit from anybody. Card 8. Guidance for the future. Here we have the 3 of shells in the reverse. Playfulness and bliss. I feel like this card is saying, yes, it's okay to let loose, to have fun, to go out with your friends and enjoy, enjoy that glass of wine, enjoy a drink or two, but don't overindulge. You guys are all still on this healing path, this healing journey, and it's so easy. It's so easy for this to get out of hand, for this to get the better of you. And then it can just like completely derail you. And because you are that influence on your friends, you might even derail some of your friends too. You might take them down with you. So I feel like this is like, yes, have fun, let loose, but do it in moderation. Don't overindulge. Be a good influence on your friends. This card says, I have the self-esteem, power, and confidence to move forward in life with ease. I love that. It reminds me so much of this kangaroo. Just hopping from one hill to the next, going to collect those gemstones and put them in his little pocket. This card says, oh, that's an awkward size. This card says rabbit. Again, we have another hopper. Okay, like we got the kangaroo here, and then we got this little hopper here, the rabbit. This card says fertility. I'm going to go to the book and see what this has to say. The message of this card is Get ready for the birth of new ideas and opportunity. The gentle rabbit pauses in between the great leaps and bounds forward to take a look around. You may be entering a fast-moving cycle or a situation that calls for you to stop occasionally and find an extra breath. Reevaluate the creative process and what is unfolding. Make any adjustments and then move ahead with another great leap. This is the energy of rabbit. There is a purity to rabbit as well. Trust yourself and trust in the universe to guide you. The quiet pause helps you to reflect on what might be a threat or another opportunity. Use this valuable medicine to create with abandon. It has a practice which says, month-long practices are excellent for aligning with your creative cycles. Choose the cycle of 30 days for manifesting ideas and projects. Use the new moon to work on setting intentions around uncovering opportunity. The 2 weeks up to the full moon is the growth phase. So working on projects and ideas with intention during this time is extremely beneficial. The full moon honors the realization of ideas, and the phases that follow invite you to put ideas into action. The dark moon is the pause, like rabbit pose. Go inward for insights and reflection on the process as a whole. I love it. So that might be your pause here when you see things like starting to spin out of control and you guys are headed towards a direction that's not going to serve your greatest good, just to take a pause before leaping in and think like what is the potential outcome going to be if we continue going down this path? And then make a decision from there and then leap forward with confidence, knowing that you have the self-esteem, power, and confidence to move forward in life with ease. I feel like that little pause is going to be like, yeah, you know what? I made the right decision. I can keep going. You know what? I take that little pause. I'm just going to redirect. I took this little step back and I looked from a better angle, and you know what? I'm going to take this path instead because this is the one that makes the most sense for my life right now. So pile 4, that does conclude your reading. I hope you enjoyed it. Please comment, like, and subscribe if you did. Thank you for hanging out with me. I'll see you soon. Bye.